Hi, my name is SportsReplays, and this is how I went this week. Look, pretty disappointing week to be honest. I was looking okay until the last couple of matches. Sunday, last couple of games were just shocking. So I went down 2,000 spots, which isn't too bad considering I did poorly on the final day. So I was looking on track to go up again in season ranks. And this is my first time going down in rankings this season, so it's a bit disappointing. I was expected to happen soon, but not this week. So we'll just check my team. Yes. Lost 5 out of 8 leagues, which is disappointing. So start off with Jordan Dawson, 122. Just a standard game from Dawson. Nothing extremely, good, but nothing terrible. Happy with that. Sinclair, 99. Little disappointing considering he was playing North Melbourne. I thought he might go bananas or score like a 120 plus score at least, but he failed to break 100. I mean, only just, but actually below his season average. So disappointing, maybe a little disappointing from Sinclair. It's definitely not the biggest problem in my side this round, as you can see already. Will Day, 84. Yeah, it just wasn't Hawthorn's game, to be honest. This wasn't Hawthorn's night. And they were terrible. They were probably the worst side this weekend. I must say, they were just shocking. To be honest, 84 was okay, I guess, in a losing side, but it is below his season average. And it's one of those question marks. Is he going to be a top 6 defender this year for Supercoach? I don't think so. I'll just have to hold on to him for now. Hopefully he can bounce back. But there are quite a few other defenders that do have ahead of him who are a little bit more experienced. But, at least, it's sort of a complete disaster, just to put it that way. Harry Sheasel, 110, phenomenal. Yeah, Harry Sheasel is probably one of North Melbourne's best player, to be honest. Look, what can we ask for? We can't ask for much more from a first-year rookie. 110, yeah, just phenomenal. And look, switching him in defence is probably the best option at the minute. Jordan Ridley, 18. Yeah, this one's probably the one that I'm most annoying about. It's just ridiculous. You got Rioli. It's just unbelievable, Rioli. Absolute joke. Maybe he gets rubbed out for more than a couple of weeks. Because that's just, it's sort of changed the game a bit. We might have had a better chance. We had a better chance of winning the game. Close game. It was under a goal. It's just bullshit like this. It just stuffs up my Supercoach round and probably my season now. I'll lose 70, 80 points because of this bullshit. Lost a couple of matches because of this. It's just bullshit. It's just garbage. He gets subbed out because this fuckwit Willie Rioli. God, it's just unbelievable. This wasn't necessary for Rioli. It was just silly. To cost the side, we were potentially, could cost us the finals. It's just uncalled for. Now he gets injured, now I have to replace him. He's down to 426k, which I've lost money on. I really haven't got any of his, didn't even get his 100 score in round 2. I should never have traded him. Should have gone to Dacos or someone else, like a Luke Ryan. Would have been a better option than getting Ridley. I had faith in him as an Essendon supporter. He's a good player. It's just his role, and I think Redmond as well just doesn't suit him. This hasn't suited. It's just he's dropped off the last few years a little bit in terms of Supercoach scoring. Still a good player, but just isn't Supercoach friendly anymore. So he has to go this week, and I might have to do 3 boosts, but I rather dearly want to save them for a couple of the buy rounds if necessary. But you do get that extra trade anyway. So we'll just have to wait and see now what I'm going to do. I'll probably have to get him up to a Ryan or a Tom Stewart. Ideally a Tom Stewart because Tom Stewart has a more easier buy. I'll look at the buy fixtures, see how we go with that. I'll probably do a video about it later on in the week for my final trades because now I've just got this bullshit to deal with and it's just... but he's not the only problem I have. Chin Cotter, 70. Don't want him to do. It was a must trade in considering all the rookies that aren't performing well lately. He's one of the exceptions and he's doing well. On to Con McKenna, 46, a player that I was probably going to get rid of, but he might have to stay in my side now simply due to the other issues I have. Yeah, so he's probably going to be a hold now, fortunately. Rather, if really didn't get injured, McKenna will probably be one of the players that I'll look to move on. But McKenna probably has to stay on my side now. I mean, 46 is just not good enough. I was hoping he can still get that 60 or 70 at least, so his price doesn't go down or manage to go up a little bit. On to Bontempelli, 164. Saved my round in the end. It's just, phenomenal. Took the risk, and I won. In that regards, he's up to 725,000, which you don't really see too often from a player. And look, if you don't have Bontempelli, you're at a huge disadvantage this season, I reckon. On to Clayton Oliver, 136. Another good job from him. Look, I got 28 points from that. A lot of people either had Oliver as captain. I'll talk about the VC option, who I selected in a minute. But look, 136. You'll be happy with that if him as captain. He was playing Gold Coast, but look, Gold Coast ended up almost winning in the end, so should have at least tied it. On to Rory Laird, 102. Look, I brought Rory Laird in. Probably should have brought him next week after, but yeah, it looks like it might have been actually right bringing him in, considering the drama I've had with his side. Look, not terrible, but not great. And I guess playing Geelong and coming off a little bit of an injury scare probably wasn't the best week to bring him in. Still better off than, starting him with 700k. It did save a bit there. But I think this week, if you don't have any issues, I think bringing Laird in this week is probably ideal. Tom Green, 135. Yeah, outstanding game from Tom Green, and he's one for the future. He's gone up to 560k, and he's actually averaged more than what Rory Laird has. But considering Rory Laird had a phenomenal season last year, not by Brownlow votes, should have got more, but yeah, 135. We'll take that any day of the week, and that's just outstanding. On to another disappointment is LDU, and he's just been garbage since I traded him in. He had the first 2 rounds were phenomenal when not many people had him. And after that, he's just been, garbage. I mean, he should have kicked that goal and would have probably dragged it up to about a 70. I was hoping he did, so my score wouldn't be a little bit better. But he's another player that's just been, it's just there's a reason why I didn't pick him. There's a reason why I didn't start him, and he's just still really consistent. I wasn't expecting this bad of a score, but come on. It's just terrible, it's a semi-pod as well. I can't have players like this, performing below other players. It's just, I should have probably got even a Parrish or even a Noah Anderson. Noah Anderson had got like a 180, 190. It's just garbage. It's just, should never have brought him in now. Look, I'm hoping he can bounce back. Once North maybe plays a couple easier sides, he might dominate there and get hopefully a 130-40 score. But I'll probably have to hold him if you select planned because I've got other issues and I want to trade out other players before him. And I can't really trade him out now because I've lost money on him as well. Jacob Hopper, 111. So that's a decent score from him. Happy with that. So he's a hold, which is good because I was on the fence to getting rid of him, but he's staying in my side now. Got no other option really. James Warple, 68, and here's another player who's a bit disappointing. Not my most disappointing player, but it's a player that I was hoping to be at 500k by now, maybe even a 550. But he just hasn't really taken over the Hawthorn's midfield. Hawthorn were terrible. On Saturday night, so I wasn't expecting a too great score, to be honest. But look, it's a hold because there's other players I'll probably have to get rid of or look to get out before him. I'm just hoping he can get that, just get a decent score next week. Otherwise, his price point is going to drop even more. I'll probably just have to hold on to the buy unless I could probably bring him up to another player, but he's a hold, unfortunately. It wasn't a complete disaster. A 68's better than like a 50 or 40. Better than LDU, who I paid up for a lot more. On to Ashcroft. He's a player that I'm probably, definitely going to have to trade out now. It was his worst game this season. And I think some of these younger players will start to tire out a little bit now. So he's going to be a gone. He's gone. He still went up in value. So I think this is the week to trade him off. He's gone out of my side, and I was probably going to bring in. Who am I going to bring in? Oh, it depends who's on the bubble for the rookies. Don't have too much cash gen, to be honest. Which is probably why I should have either got in Noah Anderson or Darcy Parish instead of Laird to have some cash, just in case I deal with this bullshit with the injuries. But he has to go no matter what. I'll have to figure out a solution, depending who's coming on. Could have probably, get a Sam Simpson in, but he was a bit higher priced rookie, but he's probably not going to make too much money. But we'll just have to check up on the break-evens for some of the rookies, because there's some that we could probably bring in. Davey, 31. Yeah, disappointing from Davey. Just wasn't really his game, and he's another player. But there's no point getting rid of him because there's really that much money. And look, unless you're desperate, you can get rid of him. But if he's playing next week, I'll just have to hold him anyway. Once Essen has an easier fixture, it may be a bit easier for him, and hopefully he can snag a 70 or 80. But we've had one of the hardest fixtures the last month or so, so it's not really ideal for him. Johnson got suspended. Hopefully he plays next week. Roberts is injured. So these are just two failed rookie pick selection that was just in there for the rush. And it's going to kill me long term, to be honest. Now on to the rucks. We've got Sean Darcy, another disappointing play for me this week. And another player that not everyone has as well. 77, not a complete disaster like it was looking at half time. He had a good third quarter, but outside that, it was just crap. I mean, still better than what his round 2 score, thank God. So the third quarter saved him from a complete disaster. Still is a disaster a little bit, but not as bad as like at LDU or Ridley. Ridley was just from Rioli's stupidity. It's just, I'm not going to go into more details about that. That could be another video, to be honest, itself. But that's not what this video is about. And then on to Marshall, 107. Just his season average. Got injured in that last quarter, which he was looking to get like a 120, 130, which is a little disappointing. It's another play. Might be another under an injury cloud, and it's just too much carnage this week, to be honest. Just too much crap. Radically 88. He actually scored more than Darcy. So he's going to hold his price for now, Radaglia. Might have to cash him on. You could probably cash him in if there's another ruckman, run the ruck forward. But ideally, you could probably bring in and get that extra cash to, improve your squad. Next off, we've got Tim Taranto, 118. Look, I've selected him as VC because he's playing West Coast, and I thought he might get that 140 plus score again. It wasn't too big, it wasn't a terrible score, and I decided, I'll just risk it with Bont. I say, Bont has a decent record with GWS, and ended up paying off for me in the end. Took the risk, won that battle, but yeah, so 118. I mean, everyone has Taranto, so good his season average. So there's no really need to talk too much more about that. Josh Dunkley, probably his best game this season. 149. I mean, if you VC'd him, you'd be happy with him as well. I mean, we'll take that every day of the week. Everyone has Dunkley. So he's actually finally, is living up to the expectations this season. It was a little bit below par, but that game sort of, boosted up to the average we were expecting. Still probably a little bit below than what I was expecting this season, but he's slowly getting up there again. Rosie, 104. I mean, he kicked a goal in the last quarter. Started off slow like many other Port players, but it was a standard game for Rosie. Nothing too crash hot. Just like this pick, just nothing, not terrible, not the best, not terrible, but not the best either. Errol Gooden, 156, outstanding. I'm happy with how Gooden went this round. It was actually the best player out of our forward line. Actually, my forward line didn't do that bad this week, other than the rookies, but the premiums in my forward line did quite well. So I'm happy about that. I mean, everyone has those 4 premiums anyway, so it's not a huge deal anyway. But as long as they're not doing, poorly. Chandler, 57, not quite as good this week. I mean, they were playing Gold Coast. I was maybe hoping for a 70 or 80 at least. But look, Gold Coast took it up to Melbourne and almost, at least should have drawn in the end. But yeah, 57 is just, average, I guess. I mean, I'm going to have to hold Chandler for another week anyway. Just simply because I've got other issues in my side. He's a hold. Look, he's done well. He's done well for me this season. And look, if he's 57, he's one of his lowest scores. I'll take it. Mitchell, 54, a little bit better this week, although he had a bit more time. I mean, considering Hawthorn were terrible for the whole game, really, I guess that's okay. Look, he's got up in price a little bit, but his cash generation is going to slow down now. So just hoping for a 70 or 80 score. Still, let's score Van Rooyen. He's been disappointing the last couple of weeks, and he may have to go soon, or he's not really going to make too much cash. So look, it's another stupid act from another player. I mean, it's just dumb. I mean, he got 2-match suspension, which sort of affects the emergency option now. I have no backup, so I'm just relying on Mitchell, who are a bit concerned about job security. It's just frustrating. Unless I get on the ruck forward and swing Radaglia. Radaglia is in form, so hopefully that could sort itself out. But yeah, Seb Stewart didn't play, so that's another failed pick. Three failed rookies who were brought in last week just went to shit the last couple of weeks. It's just shocking. And Constable hasn't played, or he's performing well in the twos. He should be getting selected, in my opinion. Anyway, I'm not a staff member at Gold Coast, so what do I know? But I mean, I could see the stats. You can check his VFL stats. He's doing well. So, I mean, Ballard looks like he's going to have a few weeks injured. He's injured, so hopefully, Constable can fill up his role. He's not even wasn't even selected as an emergency. So, it's just we didn't really need Constable playing, to be honest. So what do I do for trades? I mean, I haven't thought about it yet. Well, Ridley has to go now, I reckon. I mean, that's just, and probably Ashcroft as well. LDU, I'm just going to have to keep the faith in him. Because, I mean, I hate trading premiums. It's just, it's just a disaster at the moment, this round. I was looking okay. Probably would have been, the top 8,000 if this nonsense didn't happen. If Ridley, LDU and Sean Darcy, reached to perform to their expectations, I would probably the top 8,000, top 7,000 by now, but it's not to be. It's just this bullshit luck. But look, I mean, not my worst round, but it's just things didn't go my way this week, particularly today. Just my team losing by under a goal, just a bit of everything. Anyway, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and let me know how you went in the comment section down below. Hopefully you did better than me.